Well, welcome to our Weather Impact Report, where we take a look at the top weather stories here in Georgia and around the nation. I'm meteorologist Danielle Moss. Well, it's hard to believe, but May is here. And when it comes to the heart of severe weather season across the country, powerful storms have already left a deadly mark this month, claiming lives and causing widespread damage. Tragically, that includes a storm right here in Atlanta where a little girl was killed. At the beginning of the week, the weather was quiet in Georgia, but that wasn't the case for everyone. Powerful storms swept through Pennsylvania last week, leaving behind serious damage, knocking down trees and power lines across several communities. Tragically, one man lost his life after coming into contact with live wires brought down by the storm.
Dave was the humblest guy. He was such a kind man, 59 years old, unbelievable painter.
Eddie Young stunned after a man who was doing painting work for him on St. Martin Street got electrocuted. Young says he and the victim talked twice Tuesday, just as the storms were rolling through.
He said that the fire, we talked about the fire, you know, it was in front of his truck, the wire was arcing. And he said that it had gone down. He said it's not arcing anymore because it had gone up like to 6-7 feet, maybe 6 feet high at times.
Sources tell me a live wire fell on the victim's truck and he tried to move it with a stick. We were there when Young got a call from Pittsburgh police.
You just got a call from Pittsburgh police?
Yes.
Who called you? What did they say?
One of the police officers, and wanted to know if I knew any of his family. But he was a really humble man.
One neighbor tells me she tried to call 911 but couldn't get through. Mike Bryan says he saw the grim sight.
I just walked down there and seen him laying between the car and the truck, and his feet were on fire and the wires was laying on top of him.
In the meantime, Young questioned how the scene was secured. He wants answers.
It was obvious it was shooting up flames from the ground. You know, no one should have been allowed near that. The police, the fire department drove by with the fire truck, and the police were at each end of the street. And from what I was told by the neighbor after I had left, that they had yellow caution tape around. I don't know why there wasn't somebody supervising that area, you know, and preventing anybody from walking up to the wire.
Well, Tuesday's storms, the same ones that rolled through Pennsylvania, had high winds high enough to push over a semi-truck in Texas. Heavy rain and powerful winds along an interstate caused this 18-wheeler to flip over on its side just before 7:30 local time. A storm chaser from an NBC affiliate just so happened to capture the harrowing moment when that driver exited the cab of the truck and jumped to the ground. The driver eventually made his way to the storm chaser, who took him to the hospital. There's no word on the driver's injuries. Well, the storms in Texas did not let up on Wednesday. Heavy rain caused widespread flooding across North Texas. David Goins spoke to motorists in Dallas as they made their way through it all.
Pretty ridiculous out there.
The wall of water rolling into Dallas County.
It's like driving through a car wash.
Slowing down drivers throughout Dallas's medical district and near Love Field. Parts of popular thoroughfares like Mockingbird, Inwood, and Maple Avenue taking on water as the heaviest lines of rain moved in after lunchtime.
It sucks. El Paso, we don't get this kind of rain.
It's horrible. I have seen several accidents.
By mid-afternoon, Dallas Fire Rescue confirming at least 13 high water response calls since 11 o'clock for a system slowly moving across North Texas, making for a wet Wednesday that Kevin Bose planned to use as a travel day. Now told us he expected to last well into the evening.
I left Denton to come down here. That, you know, weather may affect my flight getting out, so I may be here for a while, but make the best of it.
Well, the slow-moving system dropped record rainfall across much of Oklahoma and parts of northern Texas. Officials in Barnesdall say the floodwaters have reached the Waxahoma Dam. The dam had issues in the past, but it is a smaller dam and it's being closely monitored. The National Weather Service issued a warning saying the excessive rainfall could produce flash flooding across parts of the southern plains. An Oklahoma man died after being swept away in the flooding. Officials say he was killed when his vehicle was swept off the roadway. Well, we had several days of our own severe weather right here in Georgia. Most of the afternoon pop-up storms overperformed and toppled trees, damaged homes, and knocked out power to thousands. Floyd County saw the worst of it on Thursday. Ariane Moss was there, and she had a look at all of the damage.
This neighborhood here in Rome experienced much damage last night from a Thursday evening storm. And this tree sitting on top of this brick house just shows the intensity of yesterday's storm. It slammed into this brick home here. And neighbors say they're just grateful no one was hurt. Neighbors say the man who lives here at this home was asleep inside when that tree crashed on top of his home. Thankfully, he made it out safely and is now staying in a hotel at this hour. Yesterday's storm also caused some residents to spend hours in the dark, as Rome police say at the height of the storm knocked out power to about 3,000 customers Thursday night. And around the corner from this house, another tree fell near Cyrus, crashing the exterior of this brick house. We spoke to a neighbor who tells us that she had just returned from the grocery store when the wind started swirling so quickly.
Just got in from the grocery store, putting up groceries, and heard this gush of wind. It happened suddenly. Everything started swirling and limbs were flying back and forth. I thought it was a tornado. So happened very quick, and it was over quick. So did a lot of damage in a very short amount of time, but it was very scary.
And this is also video of more trees that fell on Elmwood Street. City crews, they spent much of the morning clearing debris where trees also partially blocked off the road. Now at this hour, we do still see some residents in the dark, and crews say they expect to have power fully restored to this neighborhood sometime this weekend. Reporting from Rome, I'm Ariane Moss for 11 Alive.
Well, storms on Friday also packed a punch as they rolled through metro Atlanta. This is video from Forsyth County earlier in the afternoon. The area experienced high winds and hail. The weather is believed to have caused a roof collapse at the Chiments Medical Products manufacturing plant off Highway 19. 4 employees inside the building were hurt but got out safely and were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. The Pickens County Sheriff's posted these photos on Friday night. A deputy took them from the Highway 136 overlook. The sheriff's office writing, "The clouds were rolling in like a wall." And right now you're looking at video from earlier Friday evening out of Gainesville. Mike Sussman shared it with us on our Weather Impact Facebook group. You can see dark, eerie clouds rolling through that area as well. It turns out the worst of the storms were in Hall County on Friday. We have now confirmed that a tornado touched down over Lake Lanier Friday evening. It was a quick one, an EF1 tornado that lasted about 9 minutes and mostly stayed over the water in Hall County. But it still brought strong winds up to 90 miles an hour, knocking down trees near Thompson Bridge Road and in lakefront neighborhoods. Thankfully, no homes were damaged and no one was hurt. A family is devastated after a tree smashed into a home on Atlanta's west side after Friday's storms. According to Atlanta Fire, a 10-year-old girl was found beneath the rubble and later died. Our Chase Howell spoke to the little girl's family, who says they were just with her last night.
Dancing on the left of your screen is 10-year-old Erica Dixon, and that's what you'd find her doing throughout the house. That was until early Saturday morning, when a tree came crashing down into the home and killed her as she was asleep in bed.
It feels like a dream, like that we need to be woken up from.
Atlanta Fire says 6 people were inside the home when the tree came crashing through the roof, including Erica's 12-year-old brother Amir and 14-year-old sister Akila.
It was a hole in the ceiling. The tree was in between them, and my sister was stuck like inside the bed, but like we couldn't get her out or nothing. And I just saw her not talking.
In the bed with Erica, her 63-year-old grandmother, who was taken to the hospital along with her mother.
My sister is not doing good at all. She's in the hospital. They have to sedate her because every time she wakes up, she is flipping out about her baby. My mom is in critical condition. Her pelvis bones are crushed. Her legs are crushed. And it's just difficult for us.
Now, I'm told this isn't the first time something like this has happened. If you take a look towards the top of the tree, you'll notice a huge chunk of it's missing. Well, that's because a portion of it fell last year during Hurricane Helene. This is cell phone video from when part of the tree snapped off in 2024. In a picture taken by a neighbor, you can see Dixon's white SUV smashed underneath the weight of the tree.
The landlord was informed about it, and they were supposed to come cut the whole entire tree down so that this wouldn't happen again, and no one ever came back to cut it down.
Saturday afternoon, neighbors like Wanda White walked over to the house to check out the damage and to pray for Erica and her family.
Once everybody wake up and see that it's right here inside our neighborhood, it's going to put a sorrow, a damper, and then it happens to be a kid, so it's going to be heartfelt. It's going to be very heartfelt.
According to Atlanta Fire, the family is receiving assistance from the American Red Cross. On Atlanta's west side, Chase Howell, 11 Alive News.
A very sad story there. Chase also tried tracking down the landlord, but wasn't able to find them for a comment. We had one more night of strong storms here in Atlanta. There were several tornado warnings for North Georgia counties on Saturday evening. Storms bringing heavy rain, strong wind, and hail once again. Rod Holbrook sent us this picture of him holding what looks like golf ball size hail in his hand. Now this hail are photos and videos from Ann Fields in unincorporated Henry County, where there were at least 2 tornado warnings. And that was definitely a sight to see. As severe weather season continues, be sure to stay weather aware with the 11 Alive app. You can scan that QR code right there on your screen to download it for free. You can sign up for weather alerts. And after several tornado warnings across the state Saturday night, the National Weather Service says it will survey multiple areas to see if a tornado formed. A crew plans to drive from Jasper through Butts County, Lower Fayetteville Road, and Clayton County. They will be working closely with emergency managers to determine where the damage is. They had short staffing over the weekend, and it limited their abilities to survey right away. Hurricane season right around the corner. It starts on June 1st, and there are a lot of dark clouds hovering over the National Weather Service, not just here in Atlanta, but across the nation. The nation's forecasting agency has lost nearly 600 staffers since January, leaving some bureaus short-staffed. Some of the offices with vacancies are in major areas, including New York City, Houston, and Tampa. Some meteorologists are concerned potentially life-saving warnings could be broadcast too late, or that inaccurate information could be sent out. And while we were tracking severe weather this weekend, people across southern New Mexico felt the ground shaking Saturday evening. A 5.3 magnitude earthquake sent tremors through the area. The U.S. Geological Survey says the quake hit about 15 miles north of the Texas border and originates at a depth of about 4 miles. Although notable shaking was felt by many residents, there were no immediate reports of injuries or damage stemming from the quake. Well, it feels like this year is flying by, and Thursday was May the 1st, also known as May Day. Usually it's a traditional celebration of flowers and warmer weather. On many ancient calendars, May 1st welcomed the first day of summer, and that was a cause for celebration. The summer solstice, or the official start of the season, isn't actually until June 20th, but in many parts of the U.S., daffodils and other flowers are already in bloom, as April showers have indeed brought May flowers. In English tradition, the holiday is observed by crowning a May Queen and dancing around a maypole. Many Americans observe the date by planting flowers or delivering a basket of flower bulbs to friends and neighbors. And as we head deeper into May, remember, staying weather aware is the best way to stay safe. But it's not all storms and warnings. We've got plenty of beautiful days ahead too. So keep an eye on the sky, but don't forget to get outside and enjoy the season when you can. With your weather impact report, I'm meteorologist Danielle Moss.